Hello everyone, my name is Julie Murray and I'm the lead trainer for Inquiring Minds LLC. I'm working in partnership with the Howard County Health Department to bring you some videos to support our mental health during these times. Today we're going to talk about stress eating. We'll cover some of the biological parts of stress eating, the difference between being stress hungry and regular hungry, and then we'll talk about some tips and tricks to maybe limit your stress eating if you would like to. So let's talk about the biology of stress eating. Stress eating is a coping mechanism or a coping skill which essentially works to make us feel a little bit better temporarily. It's set off by our high levels of cortisol, which is our stress hormone. This then in turn spikes our insulin, which is often tied to our hunger. So basically what's happening is your body is very stressed, it doesn't know what to do, and so it tells you to go eat. Stress eating is spurred by this cortisol, and then we are rewarded with dopamine when we stress eat. Dopamine is a neurotransmitter that's linked to our pleasure pathway or reward center in the brain. This means that we seek out things that give us quick little rushes to make us feel better, and as you know, it will feel better temporarily, but you still need to address those underlying feelings below, the iceberg of what's going on. So let's talk about how you know if you are actually hungry or if you're looking for comfort. Basically, physical hunger is going to be preceded by those physical warning signs, like your stomach is grumbling, perhaps you have a headache or you feel lightheaded, maybe you're a little crabby. This is indicators that your blood sugar is low and that you likely need sustenance or calories to continue functioning well. Stress eating or emotional eating is going to be preceded by some emotions or stress. It is also going to be highly specific in what it is asking for. So you suddenly get a craving for ice cream or you get a craving for salty foods, whatever it is that you are feeling drawn to at the moment. Physical hunger will not discriminate between those and is happy to accept any sort of calories in that way. You may have a preference and think, oh, hamburger sounds really good, but if somebody gave you something else, you would be likely to eat it because you're hungry, you're truly hungry. Before we switch into tips and tricks on dealing with stress eating, I just want to share that it is okay for your body to change. It is okay for you to gain weight. You may have seen on the internet a ton of jokes or memes or funny cartoons about weight gain, and I implore you to please stop sharing them because you don't know who or how this affects other people. We are going to change throughout our lifetime. It is perfectly fine to gain weight and lose weight and move throughout life. Our bodies are meant to be vehicles, not ornaments. We are going to cover some really easy tips or tricks to use to prevent stress eating. If you are worried about stress eating, so if you suspect that you are stress eating and you would like to stop or reduce it, I encourage you to do emotional check-ins and practice some mindfulness. There's another whole video on mindfulness if you want to go check out what that means. But for now, let's talk about what it means with stress eating. For stress eating, we need to recognize our triggers, meaning, what causes you to eat a lot of ice cream or Doritos or goldfish or whatever you're getting into. Stress eating is often set off by difficult emotions or high levels of stress. So in order to start reducing the levels of stress, it may be worthwhile to start doing emotional check-ins throughout the day, which could be considered mindfulness. So let's say you suddenly have a hankering for ice cream. Stop and think about what's going on in your life at that moment, how you're feeling, and see if maybe you can replace ice cream with a different coping skill. A word of caution, do not tell yourself you can never have ice cream again. Restriction has been shown to not work, and it actually makes you crave it more and likely to eat more than you were intending to begin with. So instead, you just put a coping mechanism in front, and then you can have a little bit of ice cream if you would like. Practically, this looks like you check in and you go, I really want ice cream right now, probably because I am really stressed about meeting this deadline coming up. Maybe I should go for a walk first and then come back, and if I still want ice cream, I can have a scoop. Another really great tip or trick is to pre-portion your snacks. So don't take that whole bag or container with you, but rather kind of scoop out a serving or however much you would like to eat at that time. Put the larger container away and then only eat what is available in front of you. Another really important tip here is to make sure that you're not checking out, that you are being mindful and immersed in what you are eating. This will prevent you from kind of just stuffing your face over actually enjoying the food and the nutrition it provides to you. The last thing that I would like to leave you off with is that it is perfectly okay to use emotional eating or stress eating as a coping skill. Now, ideally you shouldn't be using it every day, but every once in a while is not going to harm your overall health or well-being. What this means is that if ice cream makes you happy and you're struggling to find other coping skills, it's perfectly okay to have a few scoops of ice cream to deal with a stressful day or week. However, if you feel like maybe you have an unhealthy relationship with food or you're worried about somebody else's relationship with food and you would like some more support, I recommend reaching out to NEDA, the National Eating Disorder Association. They have some excellent resources available on their website, as well as a helpline and a chat function. If you like what you're seeing, please make sure that you follow Inquiring Minds LLC and HOCO Health in order to stay up to date on our mental health resources being shared at this time. If you would like further information on behavioral health resources, you can call 410-313-6202 or go to howardcountymd.gov/gethelp. Thanks for tuning in. We are wishing you good mental health.